Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Well, as the title of this video says, this is Cockpit Capers. And I just thought I'd show you some of the work I've been doing on my cockpits so I can put my run cams in the aircraft and get a cockpit view. It all started with the Trojan, the Arrows Trojan, which is the cockpit set on the end, the red ones. I had to repair it, and during the repair I got epoxy glue all over the canopy. So I ordered a replacement canopy, which is the first canopy you see over here. So I was left with a spare one with epoxy on the back, so I cut it down. And in fact, I cut it down, so I just removed this back section here. So it was actually all canopy up to this mark here. I modified this foam piece on the inside so I could add a camera. I took the pilot out, that's just a couple of screws on the bottom, and tipped him out. I wasn't happy with the results. This is the canopy that normally comes with the Trojan. This is a replacement canopy after my crash, because I got epoxy all over the rear of the original canopy. So what I decided to do was to cut the rear away and fit a run cam. I've already had a flight with this in. Take it off. So not being happy with those results that you've just seen, because I thought this perspex just blurs the image too much, I went a step further, and this is the end result. And the end result is I've actually cut the perspex away but left the frame. So with the camera mounted and looking through the cockpit, obviously that piece, you get a view similar to that. And it looks as though you've got cockpit, but of course, obviously it's so clean you can't see that it's actually not there. Last time I realised that the plastic wasn't that transparent, so I've actually cut it out. So you can see here, I'm going to stick my finger through there. It might wobble about a bit, but I want to see what it looks like. If this is too flimsy, then I'll just cut the whole lot off for the next flight. I should have put nav lights on, never mind. Okay, Arrows Hobby T28 Trojan. Taken off.
Throttle cut off.
Let's take off with no flaps. So that's the first one, and I use a run cam. I use a standard run cam on it, and it's tested to position it like so. And the beauty about these run cams is I've got an app on my phone, so I can just switch it on, switch the phone on, and I can see the image the run cam is seeing through Bluetooth. Because I was happy with that, I've done the same with my Durafly T28 Trojan. Slightly different design, but I've cut the cockpit out. This had a place to put a remote control FPV camera through. I blocked that all off, marked the foam on. The angle's slightly different, but the results are the same. You get a cockpit view. So when I build the Durafly, this is the centennial anniversary colours of the Royal Navy. When I build that one, I've got the cockpit ready to go on with the camera. Now, following that logic through, of course, I then decided to do my F4F Wildcat. Now, my initial attempt was to cut a hole in here, remove the pilot, and leave the cockpit in place so I could push a camera up into there. And when I'm not using a camera, I push a pilot up into there. The problem was the pilot dropped out because of my stupidity. I didn't attach it hard enough. Fell on top of two servos, prevented them from moving properly, and I crashed the plane. It's been rebuilt. It flies well. I've rebuilt this bit. It's got some crease marks. In fact, that's a complete rip. That came totally off, and I've glued it back on. And I decided that's not a good approach. So I've Grayed out the canopy, which I tend to do on a lot of my aircraft if I'm putting a receiver into the canopy area, but this one doesn't. It's just grayed out because I couldn't be bothered to put the pilot back in. In its place, I purchased a spare cockpit. Now, these are like hen's teeth. They're really hard to get hold of, but I managed to get one from Germany. I've painted it silver, but it's not exactly matching, but it's okay. And I've done the same as I did with the T28. I've cut the cockpit back away. I've cut the perspex out, or the plastic out, from between the frames. And this has the camera sitting nicely like that on the back. And you get a brilliant view. It will take this camera or the Mobius. Now the Mobius is lighter, so I'll probably try the Mobius out first on this. But that's for the F4F Wildcat. Then moving on, this cockpit here is from my Dynamtexan. I added this rear pilot myself and hadn't realised how much weight I was adding to the Texan. But the job's done. It flies okay. It flies well, in fact. But I thought, yeah, why not? Now, Dynam sell things a bit differently. They sell, for instance, the canopy by itself and then the cockpit. They don't sell it as one piece, whereas these are sold as a complete unit. With Dynam, you have to buy this and then buy the bottom part. So that's exactly what I did. So here I've got the bottom part and I've got the top part. Cut this out so I've got a nice frame again. Position the camera so I pick up the bottom of the cockpit detail. Now this is my own cockpit detailing. Thing with this one, when I put this on, it sits like that and it catches the bottom of the instrument panel, and it also catches these frames, which makes it look quite good, to be honest. It was a lot lighter than this one, and I thought this is behind the centre of gravity, so if I put something lighter on, the centre of gravity is going to be disturbed. So what I've done is I've added 2 pieces of iron. There's a 5-gram piece at the back and a 10-gram piece at the front. So with the camera on, this now weighs 1 gram lighter than the standard cockpit. So the centre of gravity is not disturbed by doing this. I haven't used this one yet. I've tested it, of course, using my Bluetooth connection so I can see what the image is like. It's a good image. The frame was cut quite well. I did a good job on that, if I don't mind saying so myself. That's ready to go. And finally we come to the Brewster Buffalo cockpit. Now the Brewster Buffalo cockpit is by Durafly. Durafly is a Hobby King brand. You can get these, but you can only get them from Hong Kong. They're only available in the global warehouse. They're pretty cheap, £8 each. But to get them shipped to the UK, it's about another 28 quid, 30 quid. So forget it, I'm not buying one. As with a lot of Hobby King stuff, to get spares, it's almost impossible. But the thing with the Brewster is it did come with a camera platform. Now this one's been modified. It was quite deep for the camera, so I've cut that flat, moved the base up, so it's quite a shallow base in here now. And that means this doesn't interfere with the electronics I've got, because it's as shallow as this one here. But what I can also do now is add this, like that. And it picks up the cockpit quite nicely. The Mobius, which is a lighter camera, will also go on here, and it doesn't upset the centre of gravity. But there's no frame. What I wanted to do was to buy one of these and cut the perspex out back up to here, So I've got this, it'll have to do. So that's cockpit capers, that's all I've been doing. I don't think I've got any more I'm planning to do. So thanks for watching, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you on another video. Cheers!